You know that feeling when you really want something and it just doesn't happen? Maybe it's a job you interviewed for, a relationship you thought was the one, or even something small you've been praying about for months. We've all been there, wondering why our prayers seem unanswered, why God feels distant when we need Him most. But I've learned something beautiful about how God actually works. God isn't just a provider, He's a giver of good gifts. James 1:17 tells us that every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights. Notice it doesn't say every gift we ask for. It says every good gift. God doesn't just give us what we need to survive. He doesn't just give us what we want. He gives us what's good for us. Think about it this way. If your 5-year-old asked you for candy for breakfast every day, would giving it to them be love? Of course not. Real love sometimes says no to what we want because it sees the bigger picture. Matthew 7:11 says, "If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask Him?" I think about seasons when I held tightly to the truth that God was with me, even when His presence felt distant. Times when I trusted His plan completely, yet found myself wrestling with feelings I didn't expect faithful people to have. Here's what I'm still learning. You can know God's hand is guiding your life and still feel the weight of what that guidance cost you. You can look back and see His perfect timing, recognize that His way was truly better than anything you could have planned, and yet still carry an ache from the journey itself. And sometimes the hardest part isn't doubting God's goodness. It's the confusion of how the process actually worked. How you can emerge from a difficult season more equipped to love others, more compassionate in hard situations, more resilient than you ever imagined, and yet still feel tender about what you went through to get there. It's like God was doing two things at once, shaping something beautiful in you while also allowing you to feel the full weight of the shaping process. The refining was real, even if you couldn't see it happening in the moment. Maybe that's part of the mystery of how God works. He can be developing qualities in us that will shine brightly later, even during seasons when we feel like we're barely holding on. The light was being formed, even when we couldn't feel it glowing. But here's where it gets really beautiful. When we don't get what we're hoping for, we have a choice. We can choose rest over anxiety. We can choose trust over worry. We can choose peace over panic. This isn't about being passive or not having desires. God gave us hearts that long for things. But it's about holding those desires with open hands, trusting that our Father sees what we can't see. So what does this look like practically? When disappointment hits, instead of immediately asking, "Why me?" we can ask, "What are you teaching me?" Instead of demanding our timeline, we can rest in His. It means praying with expectation, but surrendering the outcome. It means believing that God's love for us is so deep that He'll never give us something that would ultimately harm us, even if we can't understand it in the moment. Friend, whatever you're waiting for today, whatever you're hoping for, whatever door seems closed, remember this: you serve a God who loves you more than you can imagine. His timing is perfect, His love is constant, and His gifts are always, always good. You might not see it today, you might not understand it this year, but one day you'll look back and see His goodness woven through every yes, every no, and every wait. And here's what I want you to know. Even in the seasons that feel unproductive, even when you can't see yourself growing, even when you're wrestling with parts of yourself you don't like, God is still at work. He's developing something in you that will shine later, even if you can't sense it forming now. The narrative He's crafting isn't just about where you end up, it's about who you're becoming along the way. Sometimes the chapters that feel the hardest to live through become the foundation for the most beautiful ones that follow. Trust Him today. Rest in His love. He sees the complete picture when you can only see this moment. He's creating a narrative more beautiful than anything you could have designed yourself, not just despite the difficult chapters, but because of how they're preparing you for what lies ahead. He's got you. Every step, every season, every tear, every triumph, He's got you.